Happy New Year!
Hey!
2020. What's
No, should we say 2020? Oh, sorry, I just have to put that in there.
2020. So, guys, I know we've been MIA from the scene.
And I apologize that I wasn't there for a while. But I was like deported back and I actually,
What?
45 was like, I miss you. You gotta come back. So, yeah, I'm back. I snapped back in, yes.
Yeah, but we had our little delay, but we're back to our regular schedule.
Yes.
Ew.
We missed you guys.
So do not forget to like, follow, and join the conversation.
Subscribe.
Yes.
Please subscribe. Our topic today will be the Gayle King. We gotta comment on that. Well, actually, no comment. We gotta talk about that because I feel like it was a big topic and we cannot be left behind. With especially 4 different brands, and we have so much to talk about, and we have many different opinions. So, can I tell them the backstory, or somebody else gonna tell the backstory?
No, you can tell the backstory.
So the backstory of the Gayle King situation is she had an interview with the legendary Miss Lisa Leslie, and she asked about the KOBE question, about how KOBE just died in when was that?
He died like 2 weeks ago.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
back in the day he had an accusation of he had a rape accusation that was 17 years ago, and he went to trial. The case was dismissed because the evidence was not the right evidence. Probably the accuser
didn't want to testify.
Didn't want to testify, yes. So
and to add on to that, supposedly there was multiple semen on her underwear.
So she had sex with multiple
With
people.
So
apparently,
like they had like a case where it was basically like open and shut case.
Yeah.
Allegedly. So after KOBE passing, Miss Gayle King decided to ask Miss Lisa Leslie about the rape case and about his what you call it his legacy.
Yeah.
His legacy, how that rape case tainted his legacy. And to me, I feel like you had 17 years to ask this man about this. This guy went, and after he retired from basketball, he went and won an Oscar. And yet still did not ask him. But as soon as he passed on that tragic accident, which was not only by himself, by his child and 7 other people.
Yeah.
7 other people. And then you are bringing this case. Why are you bringing this case?
Yeah, that's horrible.
Okay. So, we know that happened. It got dismissed. That situation right there ruined him and his career during that time, because being accused of something like that,
it didn't
ruin, like, yes, because he still had a career after that. It almost did. Being accused of something like that is not easy, and we don't know what he was going through too, because to be accused and for it to be an open and shut case, now he's a victim too, because he has to deal with that afterwards. Everyone is looking at him differently. He got over that. He bettered himself as a person, as a husband, as a father, and as a player. He did so much for the community and for himself. Why go back to that one thing? Why not talk about everything else that he has done after that? Why make that the topic of discussion now after he's gone? This man won an Oscar, y'all. A basketball player.
Yeah.
Won an Oscar. Like, that is unheard of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for that, I don't know. I just feel like it's very inappropriate now, especially so early after him and his daughter and 7 other people just passed, to just, like, oh, let's, he's gone, so like, we're going to just drag his name out. I think it was tacky. It was tacky and unprofessional.
Very, very distasteful.
Yeah, very.
Because you have to think about it too, because it's just like, he passed away. You had all this time to talk about it, and this is a tragic moment, and you're not realizing his wife could see this, his children could see this.
Yeah.
This is more of like, and then another thing, what the heck, was Lisa there when it happened? Like, that's why I don't understand.
Why she need to ask her?
Why are you interviewing her about a situation involves him? And this is what blows my mind, y'all. We just lost this man, his child, and so many other, mothers, fathers, and daughters that were on that plane. I mean, at this moment in time, why would you bring up something like that?
Yeah, she knows she was wrong, because there's no excuse. There's no which way you can look at it.
She knows she was still wrong.
You talking about it, and then on top of talking about him like that, you are in the faces of men as such as Harvey Weinstein, what is the other, Woody Allen. When you interviewed Elvis Presley's daughter, did you bring up the fact that the person he married before was 15 or 14 or something?
14.
But nobody is tarnishing his career.
No.
So he's a legend. Why would you bring up that? So if you're going to do that, and this is the thing, if you're going to do that to him, do it for everybody. But the fact that you do it to a black man and you're a black woman, you know how hard it is. Why would you tarnish his career? It's like, oh, yeah, he did all this good, but
the one thing
he
was
did
not
this.
convicted of.
Exactly.
And that's why a lot of people are very mad at Gayle and Oprah, is because Gayle and Oprah are this, like, they are black women who are like big media personalities, and for the longest they've been put on this pedestal where that's Oprah Winfrey, the first black billionaire, and that's her best friend. And it's like a lot of people have this worship mentality. And for them to do that, because now, like, Oprah went after Michael Jackson 10 years after his passing. Gayle went, well, I'm not gonna say she went after R. Kelly, but we saw what that R. Kelly interview did. And now Oprah is trying to go after Russell Simmons. And when you look at the common denominator, it's like there's this black man, but Harvey Weinstein is your best friend. Why? And then there's this guru, I don't remember his name. There's this guru who has 23 sexual assault charges against him, and that's Oprah's guru, his best friend, her best friend, who is charged. And he happens to be white, and she's not talking about that. And it's just, to me, it's like when the media rallied against. When the media rallied to defend Gayle King, I was like, why would you do that? Because at the end of the day, yes, she's a media personality, but some questions that you ask, I'm not going to say Snoop Dogg was right because they say he threatened her, but the question she asked was very disrespectful.
He could have went.
He
could have meant several things by we gonna get you. He means like we gonna get you, like, media wise. We gonna out you.
We're not gonna support you.
He didn't say like we gonna get you, beat you up, and then do this. No, he didn't say that. But you have to realize, being a figure, if you say something that can be like in different ways, you gotta be careful what you said. And he wasn't careful, which he apologized for. But by him saying what he said, he was right. Why is it you want to knock down somebody that is of your same color,
when
but
they're
not
down?
Yeah,
when they're down, and that's the opportunity that you take to kick them.
Yeah.
Like, this man was alive. My thing here, if you're gonna speak on issues, like, this man was alive for 40-something years. You never, brought it up after the whole situation. He's dead. He's resting. The incident just occurred. His family is in tears. He had little baby that is not going to ever see him again. You know what I'm saying? Like, his wife, the family is already dealing with that situation. The world is dealing with it. And you over here asking questions about stuff like that? Like,
you have training. You went to school.
You just gotta be messed up to do something like that. I'm sorry.
But that's what it is. If they're gonna protect them, because of course you know, like, oh yeah, you talking, yeah, if it has to do with somebody of black descent, and they're doing something like that, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, no, that's okay, like leave her alone, because they always want you to be in that light. Why is it every iconic figure that is of a black descent, always something has to come out, like somebody always have to bash them, somebody always have to, oh, he feed 1 million people, but you remember that one time he was on the concert stage and he farted? Yeah, he farted. And the whole place stink. That's what it's like.
Yes.
And that's why I tell people, for the longest, I always look at Oprah. Oh, they actually start calling her Oprah. I started looking at Oprah sideways, and I was talking about, like, to me, like, people been worshipping Oprah for the longest, and I was like, yeah. Because to me, I felt like Oprah was never for black people, even African people. You already know about the school in South Africa. I'm not even going to talk about that. And the thing that actually made me side-eye Oprah was the fact that Michael Jackson died. And 10 years later, you bring these people, that the Living Neverland story, and you bring these people in your platform. When 10 years before, not even 10 years, when the case was going on, they denied about what happened. Now, the man dies, and 10 years later, when he was alive, he was your friend. The family was your friend. And then when he died, that you bring, oh yeah, I'm going to bring them to my platform so they can tell the side of the story. Okay. The second reason why I don't like Oprah was with the Central Park 5 story, which are now called the Exonerated 5. Because when that case happened, even though a lot of people were young, it happened in 1989, Oprah bought the victim, the Central Park jogger. She bought her to her platform so she can tell her side of the story, which was very understandable, and which she was supposed to do because she was a victim. But when these 5 guys were acquitted because the rapist came forward, why she never bought them? And then on top of that, they were acquitted, and then there was a documentary before that docu-series on Netflix, when the Seers, big up to Eva DuVernay for that docu-series. They were acquitted, and then there was this director and his daughter, it was like Ken Barnes and somebody Barnes. They did a documentary of the Central Park 5, but Oprah never, after the documentary, not even after they got acquitted, it's like after the documentary, she never brought them to her platform for them to tell their side of the story. But as soon as Eva DuVernay did that docu-series about when they see us, please, and everybody, if you have a son, or if you are black, especially if you're black and you have a son, please watch that docu-series. It's very important for you to watch. And then the next minute you see Oprah Winfrey presents When They See Us, and I'm like, why? Why now? You should have just left it alone. Because you are never interested before, so why now? Because also a lot of people are talking about it. Because these were boys that were 14, 15, and 16.
And one of them having a issue, like a mental issue.
A mental issue, who was very innocent, was not even at the park, but just because he was a good friend, Mr. Corey Wise, he served 13 years in prison. 13 years in prison. And if it wasn't for that rapist that actually saw him and he was like, dude, you still here for something that I did?
Yeah.
You have never seen it? You should. Oh my god.
It's heavy.
It's really heavy.
You will cry.
Like you're gonna have to pause it, take a break.
Like I cried.
No, it wasn't even me. The first 2 episodes I was mad at her. I was mad at everybody.
Yeah, it's a very.
I was like, I'm mad at that TV. I'm mad at that cop. I am mad at everybody that's talking about.